Hey guys, this is Arun Jacob, your friendly and frank licensed New Zealand immigration advisor. As you all know, I love to give information and advice about moving to New Zealand on a permanent or on a temporary basis. And we do a lot of work with clients from different parts of the world, and it looks like a lot of people are looking at New Zealand quite seriously as a prospective destination to come here to study or migrate or simply travel or do work or invest in businesses and so on and so forth. So we deal with pretty much all these areas of interest, and one of the most common questions that we get about is working in New Zealand. And and they say, hey, look, I'd be very, very keen to come to New Zealand and and pick up work in the country and stay back there and possibly create a future for myself and my family. Now, you will need to understand that working in New Zealand is not as simple and straightforward as it sounds, because it's a bit of a catch-22 situation. For you to, in fact, I get a lot of emails saying, "Hey, look, I want to get a work visa. Can you help me with it?" Now, you cannot get a work visa unless and until you have a job offer. So, somebody in New Zealand, a New Zealand organization or a company, needs to give you a job offer, and this job offer needs to be genuine. This the job offer needs to pay you the required amount of wages as decreed by the market rates. So, which means you can't bring in an IT professional and pay them only $24,000 and hope that Immigration New Zealand will give you a work visa. So that's how it works. I mean, in terms of wanting to get a work visa, you first need to get a job offer from somebody here in New Zealand, and once and it has to be legitimate. It has to have the right contract written out in terms of an employment agreement, and it also needs to give the right amount of salary and all the other things like leaves and all the other employment related stuff needs to be there in it properly. Only then, after getting your job offer, would you be able to apply for a work visa. So the next question people ask us is, so can you help us get this job offer? And I wish I could say yes to that particular question. But the fact is that I know a lot of employers and job consultants in New Zealand are not very, very happy to talk to somebody who is not even here in the country in the first instance, because nobody wants to go through the trouble of having to interview somebody who is not in New Zealand and go through that time and effort. And obviously, there is a cost factor as well, in that time and effort. And so nobody really wants to go through all that, and still we're not sure whether that person will even arrive here into the country. So what employers and job consultants do is they obviously look for people who are already here in the country and try and encourage them to apply for these positions. And there is a lot of very, very good talent in New Zealand as well, and it's only in rare cases that you're probably not able to find the right amount of talent, and that's when the employers and job consultants will look beyond New Zealand. So the it all boils down to you being present here in the country, and present here in the country, not just physically being present, but you also need to have the legal status to be able to pick up work here, which means if you're here on in a tourist visa and you are trying to apply for work, the first question and a prospective employer or a prospective job consultant is going to ask you is, so what is your legal status here in the country? And the moment you say that you're on a visitor visa, obviously, again, a lot of people will not be interested to talk to you any longer, because that is not a valid visa for you to be able to pick up work. There are instances when people come here on a visitor visa and are able to go around and attend some interviews and then get a job offer, and then they are able to approach Immigration New Zealand and tell them, hey, look, I have this job offer, so can you help us to, can you give me a work visa now to be able to work legitimately? But this happens in very, very rare cases, because I think it happens mostly with people who are extremely persuasive and being able to face an interview and let that company or the job placement consultant know how good they are in their particular profession, and why it is important for him or her to get a job offer. So there are cases. I mean, there are instances, but I think they're not very, very high, and I think the percentage is quite low. So Next comes the question of, so how do you enter the country on a legitimate visa? One is if you have the required number of points to make a skilled migrant category application. You can make a skilled migrant category application and come into the country, and you will basically come here on something known as a resident visa, which allows you to do any kind of work that you want. And so it is absolutely an open-ended visa that allows you to stay in the country and also pick up any work you like. So that is one way of getting work rights in New Zealand. The other way of doing it is, like I said, it's not very often, but some people can possibly look at the visitor visa option and then attend interviews and then be able to get a job offer and then apply for a work visa and get it. And then the third way of doing it is to come here as an international student and study here for a period of time at a particular level of course. And after you complete that, you get something called the post-study work visa, which is an open-ended work visa for 1 year. So you basically invest that 1 year of time, money, and effort, and complete your course successfully and get the post-study work visa. And again, if you're good and you're able to go and sit in front of an employer and say, hey, look, these are my talents and my capabilities, how about giving me a job? And somebody gives you a job, then that post-study work visa can be converted into something known as an essential skills work visa, or possibly you could even skip that step and go directly into a resident visa. So these are some of the ways and means of doing it. And I get too many questions from people saying, can you help us find job offers, or can you? We cannot do that because it is not simple, it is not easy. And then I have some idiots who write to me and say, but I heard that if you pay money, somebody will give a job offer. We are definitely not in that business. I mean, you're talking about a country that has always been in the top 3 or 4 least corrupt countries in the world, and you guys are writing emails to us and suggesting that we must do something that is illegal and corrupt. And we are not a company who will do things like that. In fact, I mean, I tell my team that we will report people like that, who think of indulging in fraud. We will absolutely proactively report you guys to Immigration New Zealand and tell them to put a flag against your name, so that even in future, if you do try some of the silly stunts, you're already flagged and things like that. So dispel the thought that everybody who runs a migration company is somehow inclined towards committing fraud or helping people to come here at any cost and make money. No, I mean, there are some companies like AJB, and my team and I, we are absolutely married to the fact that we will create a better New Zealand, and we will create that better New Zealand through better immigrants, high quality immigrants, high quality students, and people who will come here legitimately, who will showcase their brilliant talents and go on to become productive workers and residents and citizens of this country. So if you're the kind of low quality person who thinks you're going to take a shortcut to be able to come into New Zealand and make this your home, I think you're talking to the wrong people if you try to even reach out to HIB. I want to send out this message very loudly and clearly to everybody who watches my videos. Please contact us only if you're a good, high quality client who can come to New Zealand and contribute your talents and benefit New Zealand by being here with your talents and your work. And in doing that, you will help create a better country. I mean, you'll help make a good country into a great country. That's exactly what we guys are looking for. And if you're a good quality client, we will go flat out to help you guys and do whatever is possible within our scope of doing things. I'm a licensed immigration advisor, so and the rest of my team is brilliantly equipped with the knowledge and processes about helping you guys to come into this country. So between all of us, we will certainly create those pathways. So we are there to serve anybody who is of good quality, who has the right skills and attitudes, and who can come into New Zealand and help address some of the skill shortages in this country, and also go on to become a productive and happy future resident and citizen of this country. So I hope I've made that very clear about how to find jobs in New Zealand. Talk to us and leave your comments below this video, and I will be happy to answer your questions. And yeah, we would certainly look forward to working with you. And all the very best. And remember, if you're good quality, we need you. So please come to New Zealand. Thank you very much for listening to my videos.